Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing today? How are you guys doing today? Hey, this is Gregory Wiles coming live to you from Houston, Texas with this inspirational morning walk. For first-time listeners, just get some exercise in the mornings and I share my thoughts with you guys. Whatever I'm inspired to talk about that day, I will share with you guys. Today is another beautiful day in Houston, Texas. Nice clear skies. A little foggy. This is the little foggy season. Just a little fog, but the fog is kind of burning off now as the sun is trying to come up. But it's a beautiful day. It's a very beautiful day here. Nice and cool still, just around the 70s mark. So it's a good day. Not that hot and sticky. But yes, how are you guys doing? How is it in different parts of the world and the country, man? So guys, for the first time listeners, if you hear anything, you can go on YouTube. I have lots of stuff on there and you could find something to bless you, and you can just subscribe while you're on there. For the people who don't know, I know a lot of people is listening on YouTube but have not subscribed. There's a little red button. The word subscribe is in red. You just press that, and when it changes color, you know you have successfully subscribed. That's all it takes. Don't cost nothing. Just hit the subscribe button. All right, Jillian, good morning. Big sis, good morning. How are you doing today? Hey, okay, what we're going to do today, man, we're going to talk about, I'm going to look at this Gideon, the story of Gideon. And because sometimes God calls us to do some things, but we question ourselves and wonder if we're good enough. And like, God, for me, you're real. I'm nothing. Who am I to, go and do what you're asking me to do, right? And he's saying, no, I got you. I don't care what you be. I'm not looking at your physical, what position you are, and how tall and how big and how strong and all this stuff you be. No, I'm looking at your heart. And when I call you and I say I'm going with you, you good. I got you. You don't worry. You don't worry. You don't question yourself, right? Don't question yourself. Because lots of us, he calling us, and we might be Gideon. We might be the one who he chose to lead our families out of some of these things that you're learning about, right? So some people logging on and they're listening often and they're getting this knowledge. Maybe you're the one he chose to educate your family and get them out of from under some of these stuff that is plaguing the family, right? So let's look at this story of Gideon and see if it's going to give us some courage to do what we need to do, right? We can read from Judges 6:1, Judges 6. I can, chop this up a little bit and bring out some highlights from Judges 6. You can read it back when you get a chance, right? So the Israelites did evil in the sight of, in Lord's sight. First thing when we hear Israel did evil, the worship of the gods. Is obio, is voodoo, is all of the good stuff. That's why when God gets so upset, a lot of sins, he punished them differently. But when he get really mad with them is when they do that, when they worship other gods, right? So every time you see the Bible talk about Israel did evil in the Lord's sight, right, that's what he's talking about, right? So Israel did evil in the Lord's sight. So the Lord handed them over to the Midianites for 7 years. So they did evil. Every time they did evil, God punished them by handing them over and making the neighbors punish them, right? So he handed them over to the Midianites for 7 years. Hand them over means he gave spiritually, he gave the Midianites the upper hand over them. So the Midianites was just going to crush them, his own people would just go and crush them. So here what the Midianites did to them. The Midianites were so cruel that the Israelites made hiding places for themselves in the mountains, in the caves, and the strongholds. And I want you to see who handed them over to the Midianites. Is God himself hand them over. So when we say the devil this and devil that, God said, if you worship other gods and do all this thing, I myself can hand you over to your enemies. I myself will hand you over to your enemies and cause some of the issues that are going on in your life right now. Because you worship other gods, I said, the same sin you do, it's going to come back on you. So he of himself handed his own people over to the Midianites. And the Midianites were so cruel that the Israelites made hiding places for themselves in the mountains, in the caves, and in the strongholds. When the Israelites planted the crops, the people from the Midian, the Amalekites, and the people of the east would attack Israel. So every time they plant the crops, these people come in and destroy the crops. Camping in the land and destroying the crops as far as God. So every time they plant the crops, these people come in and destroy it. So what they're doing, they're leaving them hungry, right? They're leaving them hungry. They left the Israelites without nothing to eat. Take all their sheep, goat, cattle, and donkeys. These enemies hordes coming with their livestock and tents were as thick as locusts. I want you to stick a pin there. I want you to remember that. They were as thick as locusts. They arrived on droves of camels, too numerous to count. I want you to remember that. This is how these people come. They're so numerous to count. A whole lot of people coming to overtake the Israelites. And they stayed until the land was stripped bare. So Israel was reduced to starvation by the Midianites. Then the Israelites cried out to the Lord for help. So they're getting crushed. Now they're crying out back to the same God who they turned their back on, right? They turned their back on him. Now they're turning back to him for help, right? We will say, man, when these people going to learn? But we're doing the same thing. We're doing the same thing. We can't criticize them. We're doing the same thing here, just like these people, right? So when they cry out to the Lord because of Midian, the Lord sent a prophet to the Israelites. He said, this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, said. I brought you out of the slavery in Egypt. I rescued you from the Egyptians. So the Lord sent a prophet to talk to them. He said, okay, y'all crying out for help. I'm going to give y'all help. Because y'all trying to turn back to me. I'm going to give y'all the help, right? So let's go on to 11. Then the angel of the Lord came and sat beneath the great tree at Orpha, which belonged to Joash of the clan of Abiezer. Gideon, son of Joash, was threshing wheat at the bottom of the winepress to hide the grain from the Midianites. So now he's trying to hide the grain from the Midianites, got to come and take everything from them. The angel of the Lord appeared to him and said, mighty hero, the Lord is with you. Right? This is the part I really want to get to in this story. I just set it up to show you why they was being punished and why Gideon was chosen, right? So this man just come up to Gideon and said, mighty hero, the Lord is with you. Gideon was like, huh? Mighty hero? Who are you talking about? Right? Mighty hero? So here will Gideon reply in 13. This is Judges 6, 1:13 now. Sir, Gideon replied, if the Lord is with us, why has all this happened to us? And where are all the miracles our ancestors told us about? Didn't they say the Lord brought us out of Egypt, but now the Lord has abandoned us and handed us over to the Midianites? Why, Gideon? Why? Why did the Lord hand you over to the Midianites? Yes, all those promises that your ancestors got was true, but why? Where does Judges 6 started off? The Israelites did evil in the sight of the Lord, Mr. Gideon. That's why you get handed over to the Midianites. So let's go on. Then the Lord turned to him and said, go with the strength you have and rescue Israel from the Midianites. I am sending you. Go with the strength that you have. He didn't say go and get stronger. He didn't say go and study and go and do this. He tell Gideon, go with the strength that you have. So lots of time when God call us and tell us to do something, we say, no, I got to get bigger, I got to get stronger, I don't have this degree, I don't have this, so I can go and do this, I got to go to pastoral school, or I got to go. God saying, go with the strength you have, go with what you have. I am sending you. That's what he tell Gideon, go with what you have, right? But here Gideon reply in 15. But Lord, Gideon replied, how can I rescue Israel? My clan is the weakest in the whole tribe of Manasseh, and I am the least in my entire family. So Gideon saying, my tribe, number one, is the weakest, and I am the least in my tribe, in my family, and my whole tribe is the weakest, and I'm the least. So I'm at the bottom. You telling me I'm going to save Israel? You might question yourself. Who am I to go and educate my family and try to deliver them from some of these stuff that our family is facing, some of these generational curses? But God said, no word, I am sending you. I am sending you. You are the one I chose to do the job. I don't care if you're the weakest in the family. I don't care if your tribe is the weakest. I am choosing you. Right? And we might got some people that we counting out. We might got a kid that we counting out right now, or even ourselves. But God said, I am choosing you. Don't worry, the same one that you got at the bottom of the family or is the least. That's the one I want. That's the one going to be the leader right there. That's going to be the deliverer right there, right? But see how, let's go on now. But Lord, Gideon replied, how can I rescue Israel? My clan's the weakest in the whole tribe of Manasseh, and I'm the weakest in my entire family. But hear what the Lord said. The Lord said to him, I will be with you, and you will destroy the Midianites as if you were fighting against one man. That's why I want you to understand up here, while you read this out, and say they were so numerous to count, and they come in so much droves of camels, numerous to count. But God said, I'm going to be with you, and you're going to defeat them just like you was fighting only one man. Man, is he awesome. So he's saying, when I am with you, bro, you got supernatural strength. Go with just what you have. I'm telling you to go ahead, and this is the assignment I'm giving you. I'm going with you. You go with just what you have, because it's not you. You're just a shell. I am doing the fighting. I am with you. Morris Agrippa, good morning. I am with you. He's saying you're going to defeat all of them people who are so numerous to count. You're going to defeat them like you're fighting one man. One man. Gideon replied, if you are truly going to help me, show me a sign to prove that is really the Lord is speaking. So Gideon, interested in God of faith, he said, man, I can't believe this, God. You choosing me, who my tribe is the least, and I'm the least in my family. You choosing me to be the deliverer of Israel? I need a sign. You got to confirm this to me. Right? And if you go on and read, God did give him all the signs what he need to convince him, I'm choosing you. So I'm saying, a lot of you guys are listening to this. You tune into this message here today. You might be the deliverer of your family, of a group, of some friend, you might be the deliverer God choosing. You ain't just hearing this message here by chance. You hearing this. You might be the deliverer. He calling you to do something. And he telling you, just like he tell Gideon here in 13, go just as you are. Go just as you are, because I'm with you. I'm sending you. You don't have to get nothing else. You just got to say, okay, accept the task and go just as you are. And he's saying you can get the victory like if you were fighting one man when you're coming up against all these stuff. So I'm just want to give some people some courage today. Don't count yourself out. Don't count your kids out. Don't count nobody out that you see like, and think you're better than them. You don't know when God is ready for you. And when he called you to do something, or he called that person to do something. So if he putting something on your heart and doing it, he telling you, I am with you, go just as what you got, because I'm with you. You go and do it and be confident that he got your back. And you got everything you need to win the battle, whatever the battle is. Thanks, Mr. Agrippa. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, you go and fight the battle with what you have, because he said he is sending you, just like how he chose Gideon, who was the least in his family. So if he called you, don't make excuses and say, God, I don't got this, I don't got that. Look at all these people ahead of me, the more educated than me, the bigger, the stronger, the more beautiful, the prettier. No. He's saying, I need you to do this job. I know all of them got. But I need you, because I'm looking at your heart. You got this in you. You log on to this message today. You take your time and listening to a lot of these messages over a long time. You got it in you now to go on and do more things. You go on and be the deliverer of whoever he's asking you to deliver. Right, guys? So I'm going to leave that there today. But if it's you he's calling and you's the deliverer, no, he's telling you, go with what you have. You don't need nothing more. Go with what you have. And he said, I'm sending you and I am be with you. All right, guys? So I'm going to leave that there today, man. Have a great weekend. But think about that. If you're getting the call, just answer the call and he got your back. All right. Have a great day and a great weekend. We'll talk again on Monday. Okay, bye.